While we still have Twitter, here's an interesting bit of information. Remember how I've said in the past that Republicans will be going after contraception next? I want to be clear, making it, if possible, illegal or at least highly inaccessible to access it. Well, leaked audio of a strategy session between Tennessee lawmakers and Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America reveals the anti-abortion group telling politicians to wait a year or two before going after IVF, that's in vitro fertilization. It's the thing they do where they make you pregnant by injecting semen into an egg, and contraception. So this is, to be clear, an anti-abortion group telling lawmakers, hey, wait off for a bit. Then we're going to do the thing. They would go after IVF? Yep. Of course, the full leaked audio is behind this paywalled podcast episode, but thankfully, a relevant snippet of it is presented here. Let's take a look, huh? Or listen, I guess. Listen. Oh, that's right. I muted Twitter to look at Cardi B's porn video.
And maybe your caucus gets to a point next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, where you do want to talk about IVF and how to regulate it in a more ethical way or deal with some of the contraceptive issues. But I don't think that that's the conversation that you need to have now.
Listen, that you need to have now. The framing here is incredibly important. Stephen Billy, VP of State Affairs, Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America. This isn't a conversation you need to have. Not as in the future we'll talk about this, but in the future you'll politically sell this.
Now, I would not recommend having it now in the context of your current pro-life law. And maybe your caucus gets...
This makes it abundantly clear, alongside all the other information we had, which is not insubstantial, that yeah, after abortion, it will be contraception and IVF. They hate you. I'm sorry. It is truly remarkable the lengths they'll go to make your lives worse. What is the pro-life argument for banning contraception? Let's talk about this. The first thing that you need to do if you want to understand why Republicans want to take this away from you is think. Would Nazis have allowed this? Think for a second. Would Nazi Germany have allowed for birth control pills and IVF? And if not, why wouldn't they have liked it? Well, both of these things are tied to women's liberation and non-traditional family structures. See, contraception, especially the pill, was hand-in-hand celebrated with the second wave feminist movement because the pill allowed women to take contraception into their own hands, not having to worry about a guy and their condom and condom breaking and guy taking off condom, whatever. It was something that they could do. What's more, both at the time then, 60 years ago, and now, you guys are aware of the fact that birth control pills are, in conservative circles, associated with whorish women who sleep around before getting married, right? Like, that's the association. Even though birth control pills have a variety of non-contraceptive medical uses, and also it's just good to be able to control when you can get pregnant, being able to control when you get pregnant is something that keeps women from getting knocked up and quickly married, which is a more traditional value when it comes to the forming of family units. In essence, they give women freedom, and they don't want women to have freedom. I'm serious. It's really that simple. It's not, yeah. Likewise with IVF. IVF is something that you do if you want a kid but do not want a dick spewing nut up into you and having it being done that way. IVF can also be used if there's certain types of infertility. It's complicated. But essentially, they want to limit technology so there is a biological and social regression back towards forms of family and parentage that are associated with early points of time, right? For example, if we don't have access to contraception, women will spend more time being pregnant. And if women are pregnant more often, they don't have time to work. They stay at home, where they raise more children. You see? It's a way of sort of bringing us back an era, artificially limiting freedom in order to create the conditions that facilitate traditional gender roles. Additionally, because there's another reason why the Nazis would have wanted lots of breeding in their country. They want more white babies. Proportionally, white people do not breed as much in this country as several other racial groups who Republicans like less. But Republicans have ways of suppressing non-white populations. What they need to do, what they think they need to do at least, is they need to raise the bar for births with every race and then have other mechanisms for depressing the birth rates of the non-white race. The Republican Party can do this in a number of ways through poverty, redlining, excessive policing, locking up a bunch of black husbands so they're unable to provide for the family role. Here's a good one. What about something they've been trying to do for a really long time? Making welfare contingent upon child number. That is, if you keep having children, you're not as eligible for welfare benefits. Oh, especially once you factor in the fact that this can be done state by state. There are actually a lot of things Republicans can do to make everyone have more kids, but then make sure the right people are actually the ones having more kids. That's the reason why. They want to ban contraception because they favor traditional family and gender roles where women have less freedom. They want to promote religious values, which are highly associated with those family roles. And it's a component of sort of nativist white birth rate rhetoric, which has, by the way, gotten so prominent lately that Ben Shapiro, the moderate guy, the I'm not even a Trumper guy, literally just today was doing great replacement theory posting. Ben, a Jewish man. Yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, thanks to America's low birth rate, we need to amnesty 11 million illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, the Senate passed a bill enshrining same-sex marriage indefinitely into federal law. These facts are not disconnected. The death of marriage is a key component in the withering of Western civilization. You see where this rhetoric comes from? It all fits together. Banning contraception and, to a lesser extent, IVF are both critical components of reversing women's rights and promoting a white ethno-state. How exactly could anyone argue against IVF without being an obviously mask-off fascist, though? They'll find a way. Also, they are fascists, and a lot of people who vote for them are. Also, keep in mind that the anti-abortion nonprofit was telling them to hold off a year or two.